Barack, you said you wanted to play bowling again. What's different about this spin control game mode than the one we've already played before?
Donald, do you remember last time when you thought the game was rigged? This time the game is actually rigged.
So what you're saying is the game was rigged before, and they admit to having rigged my last bowling game?
That's not good.
Of course it isn't. Just like how you cheated to win the presidential election, that bowling rink sold my victory to Barack. So how exactly is this game rigged?
This time they've put physical barriers in front of you.
How dare they try to one-up my beautiful Mexican border wall? Did Joe have involvement in the construction of this place, or was it one of his dastardly Democrat rats? And of course, it must have been taxpayers' money that paid for all of this, wasn't it?
I didn't have any involvement in this. At least be happy your ball got some pins.
Uh-huh.
Donald, what are you doing?
Let's see if he cheaped out on these walls.
I have no idea why you're saying I was behind any of this. I didn't even know nor ask for this bowling alley to be constructed. I'm innocent.
All right, enough, guys. Let's just try to play the game.
Do you not understand what's happening, Barack? This entire rink is rigged. Millions of dollars were burned, making the floors bent and adding in those cheap tin cans blocking our way. Look at the other lanes. Everyone else has a clear path, except for us.
You know, Donald, maybe they chose not to play spin control. It's fair since all three of us have to put up with the barriers. Besides, it's another chance to beat us in bowling since you lost so badly last time.
This seems a little tricky.
I don't know if it's possible to get a strike with this barrier in the way.
I'll try bowling from this side of the lane.
I don't know, Joe. It looks like it's going to fall into the gutter.
Oh, darn it.
Joe, the fact that Barack, of all people, knew it was a terrible bull says something about your inability to make decisions.
Okay then, I'll swing closer to the right.
Dang, that's rough, Joe. I wasn't expecting the ball to roll that far to the right.
I see the ball has chosen the right side.
I think it was just how I bowled that time.
Oh, really? How is this a beginner level? This covers over half the entire lane.
Oh, wow. I didn't think it would change the barrier size to be this extreme.
This is ridiculous. Whoever's managing this bowling rink doesn't want to give me even the slightest chance at getting a strike.
That was a great bowl, Donald. You almost got a strike.
I think you could have gotten a strike. The later rounds could be worse.
Don't you even start trying to mess with karma? You screwed me over in tennis, so you better not do it again this game.
That was your loss, Donald. You straight up bragged constantly and deserved it for being overzealous and not paying attention to the game.
Oh, really? I'd like to see more of the karma you just received. The score numbers don't lie, Barack.
Yeah, that I'm losing? Just wait until the end of the game. You can't automatically assume you've won the game by the second round.
Yeah, I can. I just did.
Oh wow, that was a really close bowl.
Just far enough that it wouldn't interfere. Be glad you have some points, Joe. By the end of this game, I'll be the sole victor, and neither of you will even be close.
All right, I think I can get a spare.
Don't let your ball curve like mine.
Oh, how unfortunate, Joe. Your ball, most likely a Trump voter, upheld its right-wing position and resisted the temptation to move to the left.
Donald, this game really has nothing to do with politics.
What, did I offend your husband or something? I'm just saying things as they are.
Screw you and your nonsense, Donald.
Well, I'm glad the game is now favoring me, giving me the opportunity for an easy spare.
You probably could have done a strike, Donald.
I know, Sleepy Joe. Considering how exhausting it must be for you to roll a ball, you might as well hibernate until it's your turn to bowl again.
All right, hopefully I can get a spare or maybe a strike if I'm lucky.
What are you talking about, Barack? This game has nothing to do with luck. Everything is skill-based.
That's what you think, Donald. I'm sure even if you had all the skill in the world, like you constantly boast about, you aren't going to be perfect every single time.
That's bogus. You couldn't get a spare because you aren't good enough like myself.
If Joe gets a strike here, how are you going to explain that?
Well, then I guess Joe's got more bowling skills than you do.
This is honestly a ridiculous argument.
One which you would have never won.
Oh man, I thought my ball would roll straight, not go off to one side again.
Joe, you probably need to change how you swing the ball.
Don't listen to him, Joe. You know, if you change the way you swing, I actually have to worry about winning the game. Plus, that just ruined your chance at getting a spare.
Isn't that a good thing? So I can actually score second or first place.
Yes, Joe. He's trying to convince you to stay in third.
So you're saying he can't beat you?
And you aren't saying he can't be in first?
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. Damn this stupid sliding trash can. If it weren't in the way to rush my bowls, I would have gotten a strike.
The direction of the bowl is dependent on how you swing, Donald.
Yes, Captain Obvious, thank you for making it blatantly obvious how bowling works.
And why exactly did you wait before swinging? Was it another stretching exercise you had to perform, or did you have a stroke midway through?
If you had working eyes in Joe's IQ level, you would have seen the moving barrier blocking my ball. But also, I did need to pose majestically before all these other bowlers to show them who the greatest bowler in all of history is.
Why does Barack's lane look different?
Wait a damn second. Why doesn't he have a moving barrier?
Because you were on the intermediate level, Donald. Meanwhile, I'm playing on the beginner level.
As if the game couldn't make it any more obvious, I am clearly the better player in terms of skill.
Shut up while Joe bowls, Donald.
Hey, Joe, you don't mind if I talk to you while you bowl, right?
No, I don't mind you talking, Donald. Wait, what was it you asked?
See, Barack, Joe doesn't mind at all if I talk while he plays. Besides, he's getting ahead of you, even with his Parkinson's shaking up his aim.
All I'm saying is you should respect Joe while he's trying to focus on the game. We don't need to bring politics into a casual game.
Yay, I got a spare.
Good for you, Joe. You're not cursed by the bowling alley, unlike Barack.
And look who's back to beginner's difficulty.
Oh, shut up, Barack. You've been stuck at beginners this entire game. Oh, come on. That last pin was about to fall. Don't tell me they've rigged that pin.
Now the real question is, can Donald get a spare?
That's a tough one.
The answer would be a resounding yes.
Wow, you got a spare too. Now it's just Barack who needs to get a spare if he wants to keep up with our scores.
As we can see, bowling noob number 1 is attempting to line up his shot. Let's see if he can make it or fail it.
I need silence, Donald.
Oh, and he absolutely flounders on his swing, not even hitting one pin.
You're a pretty good commentator, Donald. Can I try?
Sure, buddy, I've got nothing better to do than listen to someone other than Barack.
Barack almost swings his ball at the barrier, a mistake he realized and thankfully pulled back. Sadly, his ball rolls very far right and only hits a couple of pins.
Is everyone's bowling balls leaning to the right, or is the floor just curved that way? If it isn't, then this must be the greatest day of my life, realizing the vast number of Trump voters silenced by the far left when they would have voted for me. Now I can rest easy knowing Joe's getting destroyed in the next election.
All right, that was a great swing. There's just 2 more pins to take down.
Time to see the ball lean right.
No!
Yes, another Trump voter in the cause for Joe to fall behind.
At least you're getting something more challenging so we can catch up.
Oh, give me a break. This isn't even remotely more challenging than the one I just did. Watch as the greatest bowling player to ever exist gets a spare.
And what was that?
That was just a test bowl to see how I need to angle my swing. This right here is going to be the swing of the decade.
This seems impossible to get a strike. How is anyone able to get all of the pins in one swing?
There's something called skill that I have and you don't, Barack.
What a blunder. Donald's ball didn't bounce off of the barrier and only went straight for the left pins. Luckily, Donald still has a massive lead, so this shouldn't affect his overall score too much.
I think that was a decent bowl. At least my ball bounced off of the barrier. It really isn't that hard, right, Donald?
Shut up. I'm busy listening to Joe commentating.
Aw, darn. I was hoping it would hit the middle 2 pins.
At the very least, you got 8 pins, Barack. Now it's my chance to get another spare or maybe even a strike.
All right, Joe. This is an easy bowl. There's no way you can't get a strike from this. Never mind.
Is it just me or all of our bowling balls rolling to either the left or right side?
For your information, Barack, that's the case only for you and Joe, as perfectly displayed by Joe's awful bowl.
Well, let's see if yours doesn't. I'm sure it will this time.
This is an easy strike for the Don. There's no way I can mess this up unless, damn it,
Still think your ball doesn't roll to the side?
that was just a one-off.
I guess we need to see it again.
See, it doesn't roll to a particular side, unlike your and Joe's balls. A wonderful spare for me brings my score far higher than either of yours will ever reach.
All right then, champion. Let's see if I can get a strike here.
You spoke too soon there, Barack. Clearly, karma is favoring my side. Even that one pin was thinking about falling over, but it doesn't want to end up like Joe, so it chose not to.
At least I fell while walking upstairs. It would hurt a lot more falling down.
Would you like to test that, Joe? Or would you rather have Barack, who is fairly healthy for his age, to show you the results of that?
I think I'm good.
Anyways, let's hope Joe doesn't fail to knock over the pins like Barack just did.
I don't know if that's a good spot to bowl from, Joe. Unless you can control your ball this time, it might roll off to the side.
It's too late now.
Ooh, it almost got caught between the 2 barriers.
That was a pretty decent swing, Joe.
Drop the ball again, eh, Joe? What can't you drop by this point? If you drop your position in this game just like you did the 2020 election, Barack's not going to be in the last place. We all know Barack's going to yap about how supposedly wrong I am if he gets second place.
All right, one more spare for Joey.
Honestly, I don't even know why this is a game mode. The game gets easier as we play. Unless there are multiple large or moving barriers, this game is too easy.
Ask and you shall receive, Donald. And I thought you said this game was easy. I bet you $10 you won't be able to make a strike.
All right, bet for my ego. Damn it, of course the cheap floors are bent and sent my ball to the right.
So, where's the $10 I won?
Double or nothing for the next bowl.
All right, then we'll see who wins this game, especially if you get distracted by money and forget how to play.
Don't you dare question the greatest bowler of all time. You can't even get close to Joe's score, let alone my score.
You don't even have a strong lead since Joe's catching up with all those spares.
I'm sorry, what was that? I don't speak the language of losers and of those in beginner level.
Oh, screw you, Donald. I'm going to make sure Joe wins the next election to make you regret what you said.
Yeah, right. Even if I lose, which I never will, I'll still be satisfied knowing I triggered you in a simple game of bowling, which you previously, quote-unquote, won.
How did you hit those pins on the right side, Barack? I didn't think that was possible.
Well, Joe, the pins from the middle knocked over the pins on the right, which is why the pins in between didn't get knocked down.
In other words, Joe, the rink was rigged in his favor, so any pin he wants could get knocked over.
That is nothing like what I just said.
Try me. There's nothing you can say or do about Joe, and I beating you out in this game just like every other game we played.
That was a great bowl, Joe. I try not to let your ball bounce off of the farthest barrier. That way you can get a spare.
All right, but this is going to be a bit tricky. Oh no, the ball hit the barrier.
All right, at least I'm not the only one getting scammed by this bowling rink.
So you're saying whenever you or Joe mess up, it's the bowling rink's fault. But when I struggle, it's just a skill issue. Also, how do you have more skill than I do if you can't even time the movement of a single barrier?
It's the fact that you whine more about this game than a kindergartner would about getting candy. That last bowl was just a test.
What would you know about kindergartners?
The real question is, what don't you know about them, Joe?
I'd rather not say.
All right, go.
That might have been too hasty, Barack. The ball curved pretty far to the right.
Don't worry about it, Donald. You think I'm going to lose anyways, so you don't need to be concerned about it.
I'm glad you finally see things my way, Barack. The fact that you got only one pin that round further proves my point.
I hope I get a spare this round. If I do, then I might be able to beat Donald by a long shot.
Both Donald and I struggled on this one, so good luck, Joe.
Thanks, Barack.
Damn, Joe. You almost got a strike that time. Of course, I could easily get one if I really wanted to, but it's still impressive when Barack can't hit pins for crap.
You couldn't hit any of the pins that round either, Donald.
It's open.
Finally, it's Donald's time to get a strike. Damn this stupid bowling rink. Of course I can't get a strike.
So when are you going to pay me the $20 I won? You said double or nothing for this bowl, so...
I don't want to hear you talk until you get through your last bowl.
This is it for Donald. Will he get a strike?
Nope.
Son of a...
And now I get a turn at beating this orange to a pulp.
Let's see you lose to me again, Barack.
It seems Barack is ignoring Donald's taunting and is focusing on his bowl.
Oh, come on. Why of all times does it roll to the side?
Once again, it's simply a skill issue.
Unfortunately for Barack, that's the last chance he had at boosting his score.
All right, let's see how much Joe's going to beat you by, Barack.
More like how much Joe's going to exceed your score, Donald.
What did I say? I didn't insult the man you call your wife. Besides, it's just a game, Barack. There's nothing to be mad about.
Oh, nuts. At least I hit 9 pins that time.
Look who was right, Donald.
It was rigged, I tell you.
That's the point.
Let's move on to something more action-packed.